Outside of Cornwall Kiss, well back on the outside is Mad Dam, and so too is Gadance Dancer at the 800 metre turn. Narrowly in front on the inside is Timeless Landscape. On the outside, Nana's Pride within a neck. A length and a half away third is Barramissy in the centre. Minding on the fence, followed by Mad Dam on the outside, peeling out 4-5 wide. A length and a half away the fence is Gadance Dancer away from the inside. 2.5 away Cornwall Kiss, and Prego Lass on the outside is last, but no more than 4-5 lengths would cover the field. Nearing the turn at the 450, Timeless Landscape just in front of Nana's Pride. Then Barramissy on the outside, ridden along 3 wide. Mad Dam is out there 4 wide, still making ground. 2 lengths away Myotic, followed by Gadance Dancer, Cornwall Kiss and Prego Lass. In the straight by the 220, Timeless Landscape pulls the whip a half in front of Nana's Pride. Mad Dam on the outside continues to make ground, followed by Myotic starting to run home. Mad Dam reached the lead by the 100 metre mark now. Drew clear from Timeless Landscape. Myotic is making ground, but it's Mad Dam. Mad Dam wins by a length to Myotic. A length away third, Timeless Landscape, followed by Nana's Pride, then Prego Lass, followed by Barramissy, second last Gadance Dancer, and last in was Cornwall Kiss.
Well, the winner is Vobis qualified, Mad Dam.
The winner of the previous race has just won a Super Vobis bonus. Only horses qualified for Super Vobis race for millions of dollars in bonus prize money. Super Vobis, Alitalia, Abercrombie and Kent. Simply the best way to travel.
Well, there's the winner, Mad Dam, and these horses with Mad in their name are raced by a big syndicate. You could hear the roar as Mad Dam got to the front, trained by Terry O'Sullivan, Malcolm Pay, the rider. That's the favourite in front, Timeless Landscape. It had a half-length break at this stage, but you could sense there wasn't much there. And it was Mad Dam for Malcolm Pay setting out after Timeless Landscape, and Myotic ran home out wide, well out wide, to split that pair. But Mad Dam, to the cheers of his multitude of owners, gets the money in the first leg of the Mornington Quaddie and is going to pay $4.50 and $1.50. Second will be 1 Myotic, $1.30, and third number 7, Timeless Landscape, at $1.30. So a popular trifecta that was paid $24.60 in the Quinella $7.30. The running double 11 and 5, $11.20. I've had many horses, Mad Barry, Mad Chevelle. I'm not quite sure, but why? But every one has had the word mad in its name, and I think by the reaction, I think they have pretty much a mad time after each win, Adam.
Yeah, I'm just framing a market here for what time trainer Terry O'Sullivan will get home to stall now. Long trip from Mornington. 2 a.m. would be about my tip.
Just looking at actually your name, Adam, is an anagram of A Mad. Oh. We'll be going to Hutchie in just a tick. He's got a report for us. There's another check of the totes there at Mornington, and here's Hutchie.
I have no doubt that that anagram is correct, Keith. Seafield Quest in this race is owned by Paces Australia, also Rob Gaylard, Alf Molinaro, and Cranwell, George Cranwell. And trained by Bruce Morgan. Bruce, this is the first horse you've trained for Paces Australia.
It is, Bill, yes. Yeah, probably through my association with Rob Gaylard, and because he's a good friend of Terry Henderson's, and that's how I come to get him.
Well, not a bad mob of people to be training for. There's plenty of cash there. At least you'll know the bills will get paid.
Well, they're easy to get on with at the moment. We haven't started one yet.
Tell us about Seafield Quest.
There was a horse Terry and Rob and George and Alf brought over from New Zealand. Barry Purdon had him over there. He was purchased in New Zealand, of course, been a Holmes Hanover, and they've had him for a long time, right from a yearling, I think. And Barry has trained him. He's won a race in New Zealand, and he's only had a handful of starts. And they, because the owners are in Australia, the other owners, and they wanted to see him race here.
Well, we've got an interesting race here because Star of Stony is a very fast 3-year-old, as you know, probably maybe tested over the 2380, but Seafield Quest, Barrier 1, what can we expect from Barrier 1 and what can we expect from Seafield Quest?
Well, to me, he may like a little high speed, but the 2380 would be right up his alley, I'd say.
So you don't expect him to lead in the race?
He could. He's a funny horse. He's a very lazy horse. When he sees the mobile, he'll grab the bit and go, but then he drops a bit and races more like a stayer.
Okay, yeah, well, they look to be the two main chances in the race. Seafield Quest, you're obviously giving him a very good chance. You've got arguably Victoria, Australia's best driver on in Gavin Lang. You're not frightened to use Gavin. You still drive a bit yourself, Bruce, but you like to put Gavin on in most of the big ones?
Well, I haven't been driving that much, lately, Bill.
Yeah.
Because of Gavin and John, and I've always said, as I said to you a long time ago, I agree that harness racing is a very professional industry now, and the chairman of the board, likes professional drivers, and especially at Moonee Valley. So if they're going to drive them here, they might as well drive them everywhere.
Now, in race 2, Mother Courage looked a winning chance when ran into a bit of trouble on the home turn.
I think she was going half pace, Bill.
Yeah.
She's a very good filly, actually. I thought if she wasn't, she knew all about racing, well, she'd nearly get away with it today.
What actually happened on the turn? Was it Brian's horse going out, or...?
Brian's horse ran up the track, and Gavin went to go between the two of them, and he came back down and collected a front foot and put her out of business.
Yeah, well, the favourite won the race, but the way she went up the straight, I don't think Mother Courage would have had much trouble in picking her up.
Well, I think Mother Courage could have got home the last quarter in 28 and a half.
Is that right?
29, any rate, at the end of that, and they ran 31, so she won by 10 metres or more.
Well, there you go, Channel 31 viewers. There's one to really tab in the future. It's a shame it might be one that got away, Bruce.
Yeah, oh, well, I don't think they had too much on her.
Hutchie, I've jotted that one down. Just one question. Bruce has also got a horse that I've got a share in now, small share. Millwood Jet from New Zealand.
Millwood Jet from New Zealand. He said he's got a small share in it. What do you want me to ask him, Matt?
Oh, I just want to know how it's going. It's been there a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
He wants to know how it's going.
Well, he's enjoying a bit of sunshine out here in Australia, and he's in the green paddock at the moment, and we've done a little bit with him. We'll talk to him about it later.
I think Bruce would rather talk to you privately about that one, but you can at least tell me, Adam. Soaky Star in race 9?
Soaky Star hasn't had a race for, I wouldn't know, about 4 weeks, I think. 2 weeks ago we had to scratch him, or 3 weeks ago maybe now, with a little injury to his hind leg, and he's drawn barrier 12, and he will be in need of a run, I think. Okay, and
Saturday night, Denver Gift got a bit of competition this time. Harley Hanover's back.
Yeah, he's back from a spell. 23.80. You might find a little tough, but Brian must have him fit to have him in the race, and we've got our usual bad barrier draw, so it does even things up a bit.
Well, you've drawn barrier 10 with Denver Gift, and Harley Hanover draws barrier 5. There's no doubt he'll lead in the race, and be interesting to see Denver obviously at the peak of his game.
I think so. He's had a 3-week break now since he raced last, but he's always pretty fit, and he seems good to me.
Right, Bruce, well, best of luck with your charge in this race and later on in the day, and also Saturday night with Denver Gift.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
We'll go to Johnny Bell now. He's ready for us at the Gallops.
Thanks very much, Bill. I've got one of the happy owners here, or two of the happy owners from the Mad Syndicate that race Mad Dam. David Moore from the Sunday Age. Another terrific thrill for the Syndicate.
Yes, you might have heard us. We do enjoy winning, the whole crew. She's potentially one of the best we've had.
Well, you were tugging my coat during the week saying, did you see her last run? It was fantastic. You would have been going in fairly confident today.
Very confidently, yes. We knew she'd like a bit of the sting out of the ground, and she did fly home for 4th, and probably should have run 2nd last start behind the Freedman horse. We thought, well, there's another Freedman in this one, but they usually are our nemesis, but today we got the money.
You've had a terrific deal of fun with these horses, Mad Chevelle, Mad Barry, Mad Dam. I mean, of course, you've had a couple of slow ones, but you can't expect every horse to be good. But it's a great way for to go racing, and the Syndicate have just loved the atmosphere of these horses winning.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's you take the good with the bad. We've had, like yesterday, we had a runner at Stall, Mad Barney, having his first start. Beat 3 home, but he beat 2 more home than Mad Basil did, who's now since been long departed. But Mad Barry and Mad Chevelle were very good horses for us, and Mad Barry's still carrying on the tradition.
Now, you've brought your son Ryan here today. Now, Ryan, is it school holidays? Is that right?
Yeah, school holidays today.
Now, you're obviously getting involved. I know you're an avid race goer, but obviously with your dad's involvement in racing, I see you at a lot of meetings. You're obviously a big fan of the sport.
Yeah, it's just the greatest sport in the world. I think they should be worldwide, all over the world. It's just great racing.
It's terrific to hear young people with such a passion for racing. I know a lot of the young guys, and you'd know too, Dave, that basketball and footy and all that, but it's good to see some young people that have that passion for racing at that stage of their life.
Yes, it is. Well, Ryan's sort of had a bit of a leg up there, the family involvement, but he had a choice today. We went to Stall, both of us yesterday. We had a couple of runners, old Yokel running as well, and he had a couple of mates call around last night asking him to come and go to the movies today. And he told them, no, sorry, tomorrow.
Terrific. Well, congratulations on another success. I'm sure there's many to come.
Thank you.
David Moore and his son Ryan there. David works for the Sunday Age, and you can read his reports on every Sunday. It is good to see the young fella be so passionate about racing. The best sport in the world. You don't hear too many kids of his age saying that about the sport, but it's good to see that they're coming through because they are the future of racing.
Thanks, John, and that's very true too. Well, this first leg of the quaddy here at Moonee Valley is being treated as a 2-horse race by bookmakers. Actually, we have a favourite, no secret to say it's dipping into the red now, and a very strong support for the one to beat.
Punters have spoken here on track, haven't they?
Absolutely. We're looking at Seafield Quest getting into the red at the Valley, and Star of Stony number 3 being the only one back to beat it.
Yeah, well, that's the way it looks to me form-wise too. There's Seafield Quest on camera at the moment. What do you make of him?
Quite a nice horse. Just a bad angle to try and judge how he looks. He's showing a bit of rib there.
Oh, by the way, Bruce Morgan said that he didn't want to tell you on camera, but your horse has broken down, Adam.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that. Best horse I've had anything to do with. That's what I needed to hear.
Going to send you your next training bill before he told you that.
Yeah, thanks. All right, well, I hope this one stops here for you, Bruce.
No, it's not true. It's not true. I'm only joking. Yeah, I'm 3-1 and 10, but look, I'm pretty taken with the fact that Seafield Quest has been heavily supported.
Look at the money now on the tote too.
Yeah, he's a quality horse by the look of it, and I'd say it's going to be very hard to beat this one horse, 3 Star of Stony. We'd probably better look at other chances in the race.
The only thing I'll say, just Star of Stony's a very good measuring stick, isn't he? Because at his best, he'd be in the top 3 or 4 in Victoria.
Oh my word!
The 3-year-olds. So
look, it's virtually 12 to 1 bar the pair.
Yeah, look, I think Man on a Mission's definitely got a chance, number 10, because it draws on the inside of the second line, and it might be able to get through and take advantage of any duel between Seafield Quest and Star of Stony that might eventuate.
I think you're half in love with it also.
Oh, why do you say that?
Well, you've tipped it a few times, and it's, you know, there's Rob Gaylard on screen. Do we read anything into the fact that he's here?
Actually, Rob loves his harness racing, and he always comes when the horse is racing, and I think that people could take a leaf out of Rob and Terry Henderson and Alf Molinaro's book.
The full team are here for this horse today, aren't they?
They love their hard, but Rob's always here, win, lose or draw when he's got a runner. And they're terrific owners, and they put plenty into harness racing. Obviously the media pays a lot better than I thought it did. 6 Gun Battle's an interesting runner for Sue McIntosh and Grant Campbell. It hasn't had a run since January the 25th. Its New Zealand form wasn't hopeless.
Terry Henderson on screen there, you were just speaking to him.
Cast of thousands.
The principal of Pacers Australia,
and
which is probably scaled down a little bit on what it was, now more select with their horses. But
and probably going to the galloping game a little bit more.
That's true. Continue on, Hutch.
Yeah, Gun Battle is an interesting runner. It's unwanted on the TAB, and would probably take a little bit of racing to get it right, but I think it's trialled okay. Admiral Lou has ability, but I was disappointed in its last run at Bendigo. It really didn't get in that race. I guess it was a slowly run race at Bendigo behind Take Your Mark, but it was every chance at the Valley the start before that when beaten by Shane Dennis. Really, I think quaddie punters, if you haven't taken them already, 1 and 3 are the only genuine chances, with number 10 a little chance.
Okay, news from the betting ring. They're getting close, but it's flip of the coin odds, Seafield Quest, $2 even with bookies. Star of Stony's been easy. It's about right on the tote now, number 3. But Seafield Quest, the first start from New Zealand, had the Barry Purdon polish on it. Now it's trained by Bruce Morgan, one of our most astute trainers in Victoria. Gavin Lang takes a drive. It's got a lot in its favour from Barrier 1, this one, Seafield Quest, but it's meeting a good one in Star of Stony. One of the early highlights of a terrific program here at Moonee Valley today. Let's go to Dan Malecki.
By Bruce Morgan. Set for a start. Runners are up on the gate. Away they go, or going roughly. Celtic Hero at the start of the race has galloped out. Albertine got badly inconvenienced there. Going quickly at Seafield Quest, trying to hold out Star of Stony, who's equal leader outside of Seafield Quest round the first turn, but won't be able to head it off. Leaders back at the moment is Man on a Mission 3rd. Now coming across into the 1-1, Tartan Princess 4th. 5th the outside was On the Boil. 3 back the fence, Garraword. Dropping to the inside, Gun Battle. Albertine getting going again after that check earlier on. Classic Races back to 3rd last, and then Admiral Lou. And Celtic Hero, which galloped out, is last. Down the straight they head, a bit over at 2 circuits to go, and Seafield Quest the leader. From Star of Stony outside at second. So the 2 favourites, 1-2 at the early stage of the race. 3rd the inside is Man on a Mission. 1 out and 1 back. 4th is Tartan Princess. 3 back the fence, Garraword. Around it was On the Boil. And then came Gun Battle, 4 back on the inside of Albertine. Admiral Lou outside of Classy Grace, which is 5 back the fence, and Celtic Hero was last. They go into the back, a lead time of 61.1, and Seafield Quest the leader, Gavin Lang the driver, and it's clear by 1.5 metres. Running second, Star of Stony, third the inside, Man on a Mission. 1 out and 1 back, Tartan Princess fourth, and Garraword fifth on the inside. On the Boyle sixth, but 3 back the outside. Then Gun Battle, 4 back on the rails. Albertine around it. And then Classy Grace, Admiral Lou, and last of all is Celtic Hero. 1,300 left to go. And Seafield Quest in front. Star of Stony is 1 metre away running second. Third on the inside, Man on a Mission. Tartan Princess is 1 by 1. Garraword fifth, but 3 back the fence, and around it was On the Boyle. Gun Battle 4 back on the inside of Albertine, and then came Classy Grace, Admiral Lou, and last is Celtic Hero. First quarter in 31.9, and they come down the straight, 1,000 left to go, and Seafield Quest led by 1 metre. Star of Stony without cover. Pulling out 3 wide, Albertine moving around Tartan Princess, who's right up in the bit wanting to go harder. Leaders back, Man on a Mission. Admiral Lou coming out 3 wide to get onto the back of Albertine. 3 back on the fence, Garraword. The centre on the Boyle, Admiral Lou around it. And then came Gun Battle, Classy Grace, and back to last is Celtic Hero, but coming out 3 deep. Second quarter, 32.2. And Seafield Quest is in front as they run down the back. It's margin a metre, Star of Stony. Man on a Mission is third, the inside of Tartan Princess as they quicken appreciably down the back. Albertine's out 3 deep, and then came On the Boyle. Garraword struggling, as are the others headed by Admiral Lou. Running off the back inside the 400, 28.2. So they turn the handlebars down the back, and the leader, Seafield Quest. Star of Stony won't go away. It's 1 metre back second and still coming. 3 metres to Man on a Mission, and then Albertine. Seafield Quest on the turn, narrowly in front. Star of Stony second, 4 metres away, Man on a Mission. It's Seafield Quest at the 100, about a neck in front. Star of Stony won't lay down, then Man on a Mission a clear third. Seafield Quest is responding. Star of Stony can't get to it, and Seafield Quest won it ahead. Seafield Quest first, Star of Stony second, Man on a Mission third. A long gap to the 4th horse, which was Albertine, and then came Garraword. Next in would have been On the Boyle, and then Classy Grace. A Gun Battle next from Admiral Lou, Tartan Princess, and Celtic Hero on the last quarter, 28.4. So they've come home in 56.6 for C1s.
56.6 is no good. Is that on camera? Yeah. Adam's trying to tell me that it's no good, this leader.
I'm saying Star of Stony's run was 20 metres better than it, Hutch. Why wasn't it?
It was only a sprint home for the last lap.
Oh.
Yeah, OK, Star of Stony went better.
I'd
like to have one that was no good, as it running on fast over 56.6.
Compared to Star of Stony,
only
Star of
free-for-all
Stony's run was absolutely outstanding there.
Kidding.
Have a look. Well, you said that yourself with 80 metres to go, now you've changed. You said, how big is Star of Stony gone here?
I'm not saying Star of Stony didn't go terrific, but I'm not saying, how could you say the leader's no good?
Compared to Star of Stony's run, Star of Stony was a much better performance here. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know.
First up from a spell.
Judge the debate, all I can say to you, Adam, is number 1's in the frame.
Now 5 fingers up.
56.6 the last half. That's a terrific.
It was a great two-horse battle, whatever your opinion of the relative merits of the 2 horses, wasn't it?
I think Star of Stony's run was absolutely huge, but 56.6, any horse that can run home in that has gone very, very well. Seafield Quest getting the money, beating Star of Stony. Let's have a look at the final stages here. Third in is number 10, Man on a Mission, who Hutchie gave a terrific place chance to. I thought it... well, it probably had its chance here, although when they run home in 56.6, it's just impossible to make any ground. You could see it parked just in behind them there, Man on a Mission. But rounding the turn, looked as though Noel Shin was driving reasonably confidently on the outside horse, but you always know Gavin keeps something up his sleeve, and he was starting to niggle at Seafield Quest here. Noel Shin was starting to get busy on Star of Stony, and this is what you come to the races to see, Keith. Two horses battle out a good finish and do it in good fashion too.
Well, Ben Malecki chose the right phrase, didn't he, in referring to Star of Stony. He said it just keeps coming, and look at it here.
Yeah, he's a very good horse, Star of Stony, and as I said, it was a good measuring stick for Seafield Quest. He's beaten him and will improve on the run, so he should go on with the job from here, Seafield Quest. But I was particularly taken by the run of the second horse. If you judge them purely on their merit, Star of Stony has gone better. But Gavin Lang, I think there was still perhaps a little bit left there on the leader, but both drivers probably sat up a little bit in the final stages, because even though the margin's only about a head to perhaps a half neck, it was clear over the last 50 to 60 metres that Seafield Quest was doing enough to hold off.
I was just going to make the comment, and I was wondering whether you thought it was going to be a silly comment, especially with such a narrow margin, that Star of Stoney was never going to get him, the winner.
No. Look, at the top of the home straight, I thought Star of Stoney had a winning chance, but Seafield Quest have been able to get away with 64-1 in the middle half, and they ran 28-2 down the back. Now, that suited Star of Stoney, even though he was first up, because we know he can run those times. We've seen him do it before. But $1.90 and $1.40 the winner. Star of Stoney $1.30 and Man on a Mission $2.10. And I wonder now whether they may even look at a trip up to New South Wales with Seafield Quest.
Well, Rob Gaylord's just walked into the room and he's nodding and, oh, look, Rob, I know you've had a big win, but handing out money like that's just embarrassing us. Please refrain. And there's the winner, Seafield Quest, coming back to scale. Rob, so what's up north?
New South Wales Derby, May 8, I think, is the final of it. So May 1 will be the heats.
Well, this fellow we were going to bring out Adam for the Derby here, and he got a virus over there, so that's the reason. I mean, that's the sort of hope we had in him for quite some time. But he's a little horse, just keeps trying. But I'm stoked with that last half.
56.6, it's brilliant, isn't it? You would have realised today that you had a measuring stick in Star of Stoney. He's a very smart horse.
Well, we trialled with Denver Gift, and I'm not giving too much away here, I don't think, last Friday, and Denver couldn't jump on his back, so that gave us a bit of confidence here today.
Well, thanks for popping in after the race to reveal that.
Well, Keith, you always talk the odds on, look on and don't run upstairs. Stay down here.
He's Hutchie with his post-mortem.
It's not on, mate. Were you just saying to Rob what you were telling me before, Adam? I've got Terry Henderson with me. We did Gavin Lang early because he won the first race. He was the driver. We did Bruce Morgan pre-post. Adam's already spoken to Rob Gaylord. Now I've got Terry Henderson, who represents Pacers Australia. You were telling me off camera, Terry, that Pacers Australia, now you're not trading as far as a syndication situation.
No, most of the horses I race in partnership with people that have raced horses with us in the past, and I tend to keep a bit more of the horse myself these days, Bill.
You're not doing as many harness horses, but this is a nice one to have. You've had this a while, though. You raced it in New Zealand, didn't you?
Yeah, Barry Purden had it. We brought it down south as an early 2-year-old. Barry had it, and he's got a couple of other nice 3-year-olds over there. Although he did rate this horse as his second best 3-year-old
right?
Just before Christmas, and we had ideas of him coming over for the Derby.
Yeah.
But then when Holmes DG sort of took the gloss, we went a little slower, and then I said, well, we might as well get this horse across here. So, no, but he's a very nice horse.
And this is the first one you've raced with Bruce Morgan?
Yes, it is, yeah. Lovely fella. Very good trainer.
Yes, well, he was a little bit dubious before the race, but I think things are going to work out pretty well with it, especially when you consider that he's only had the one run before today since late last year, and he's run 56.6 his last half.
Yes, and a great run by the second horse as well,
yes.
Bill. But they didn't go that quickly earlier on. But this horse is a real stayer. Set for something like the Queensland Derby, he won't be outclassed.
And what about the galloping scene now? Daruma, who continues on?
Yes, it worked well yesterday. Sydney Cup next Saturday. So fingers are crossed. It looks pretty good at the moment.
And you've got other horses in the galloping scene now?
Yeah, they're about half and half. Got about a dozen of each at the moment, Bill. And it's a nice balance. And there aren't that many that aren't really performing.
Is that
at the
right?
moment. So at the moment things are pretty good.
Terrific.
But wait 2 minutes.
No, well, I admire you, Terry, and I think if you're spending the money, you deserve to get the success. Because as we both know, it's very hard to make money owning horses, and you seem to have done a pretty good job at it.
I don't know about the making money bit, but I certainly enjoy it.
Well, you don't like to lose it, do you?
I don't like to lose it. And I think there are ways that you can sort of minimise the investment in racing, be it in syndicates or buying horses yourself. And a bit of research, dealing with the right people goes a long way.
I wish harking back to the days when I first started owning, wish I'd been in syndicates then, because it gets very costly when you're doing it one out.
Oh, it does. I really admire these big syndicates that they've now set up with 2,000 and 3,000 people. It must be notoriously difficult to run, but they get so many people involved.
Well, it's bringing racing to the people and making it affordable for them, isn't it?
And look, you can talk to a person at the races that's got a 1/2,000th share in a horse, and he's getting
the
just
enthusiasm's still there.
It's there, Bill. Yeah, it's great, and I hope that harness racing actually takes note of this, and we get one or two of these big syndicates going in harness racing.
Well, Terry, I was noticing your enthusiasm, and even Rob's. I mean, Rob's always here at the track when they race. You are. I mean, neither of you guys seem to have lost any enthusiasm for your racing.
We'll give it up when we do.
Exactly.
It's fantastic, and harness racing or galloping, the thrill of being involved in a horse, you're racing with good people, good fun, having a bit of success. You learn to lose more than you win, obviously, Bill, in this game, but it is a fantastic pastime.
My word, I couldn't agree more, Terry. Well spoken.
Good on
and congratulations on the win.
Thanks very much, mate.
That's Terry Henderson, part owner of the winner here at Moonee Valley. This is Wednesday Racing, Channel 31. We'll go for a break.
Vivace, Melbourne's only fine music program, can be seen Tuesdays at 8:30.
So my second one, I wanted to focus on a neglected composer.
Performers from all over Melbourne showcase their work in a variety of styles. Interviews and performances from some of Australia's best up-and-coming artists.
The jazz band, the swing thing.
Fine music on Vivace, each Tuesday at 8:30 here on Channel 31.
They come down.
Access News presents issues relevant to the Melbourne community.
There will be poverty.
Civil rights, environment, politics and local issues make Access News Melbourne's most independent news service.
We have red orchids, we have butterflies, we have...
An area that is so-called restored or...
Access News, here on Channel 31. High on Country Line Dancing brings the art of line dancing to your lounge room.
Country line dancing hit Australia nearly 10 years ago and since then has become one of the most popular recreational activities. We are going to step to the left, we are going to step behind right, we are going to step to the left.
Competitions, interviews and tips make High on Country Line Dancing exciting viewing for anyone interested in line dancing. High on Country Line Dancing, Sundays fortnightly at 7, here on Channel 31.
A lot of work has been done to develop it as a fantastic facility for aged care.
Hashavua presents issues relevant to the Jewish community of Melbourne.
The United Jewish Education Board.
Culture, religion, youth and current issues make Hashavua a diverse and interesting program.
They learn to read and write Hebrew.
I've just been in Israel the past year and doing this...
Hashavua, Thursdays at 7:30, here on Channel 31.
Race 5 at Mornington. This will be the second leg of the quaddie, and it's quite open. Let's have a look at the tote board here as the runners are in the mounting yard at Mornington. The favourite is number 7, Benny Video. This was Ray Huxley's best for the day. He's on a bit of a roll, Ray. I think he's had 6 winning best bets from his last 9 selections, and he's not afraid to tip one at a bit of odds. And this is a 4-to-1 chance, as you can see. And number 7, Benny Video. It's been a little easy on the track down there. We'll get more on that situation from John Bell when we cross to him. By the same token, it is perhaps the most open race of the day. Also in the market, number 1, Palicent. It's at 11-to-1 tote-wise, but it'll be shorter in the ring for sure. 2 is Haciendos at $6.60. That equates to its ring odds at the moment. 3, Luca Brasi. It's been a drifter on track. Again, we'll need more comment from John Bell on the reason for that. 4, Truistic is at $8.50, and that's overs. 5, Into the Mystery. Well, it's about a point over tote-wise. Benny Video, we have discussed. Rambar number 8 is at odds at a point or so over what bookmakers are offering. 9, Devon Departure. Well, it's about spot on. Spec, nothing for it. Fire Chief opened under double figures with bookmakers on course and is still that way tote-wise, but it's got into double figures on track. So there are about half a dozen live chances at least in this pretty tough race. It's a 2,000 metre race, Class 3, worth $12,000, and the favourite is Benny Video, number 7, the rider Brian Werner. Let's go to Hutchie now for post-race comments or pre-race comments, or, well, comments anyway on the next at Moonee Valley.
Well, it's not really to do with the race, Keith. I've got an old workmate, I guess, Keith. Well, it was Mr. Greenwood in those days. I've got Keith Greenwood with me, who was a former senior steward with Harness Racing Victoria. It was a trotting control board back in those days, Keith, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yes.
How long were you with trotting control board for?
25 years. 25 years as steward, and I've been retired 20 years.
Are you still keeping an eye on the sport?
Oh, yes, I'm very, very interested. I don't get out very often. I had a fall 12 months ago and mucked my shoulder up a bit, but...
You tell me it stopped your bowling?
Yeah, it has stopped me bowling too. I'm no good left-handed, but I like to get out and meet the different people I know and see the boys that have grown up, including you and Gerald Lola, all boys that with me at some time or other.
Keith, I've only been in your presence twice today when there's been other people in the area, and both times, first of all, Bruce Morgan and then Sid McLean, who he just told me you gave him 2 years once, but he said, well, he didn't say he deserved it, but he said the man was a thorough gentleman, and you were always held in very high regard and very high esteem by the people, the trainers and drivers you dealt with.
Well, I tried to have it that way. I trained under the late Harry Hummerston, who was the finest gentleman that anybody could have worked out under. And he gave me a set of rules when I came on that I've always valued and treated them as a Bible, was to treat everybody as a gentleman until you found them otherwise. And I tried to do that. And the fact that I'd trained and driven myself put me in a good position to know what other people were doing and to respect them if they were in trouble, which was genuine trouble.
Well, Bruce Morgan was telling me you always congratulated a driver when he weighed in.
Yes, that was one of my things that I started off with, that I feel that if you had to deal with anybody at any time, well, that was part of the job, and if they did a good job, you were entitled to congratulate them, and I always congratulated every driver.
Who were some of the better guys or the better trainers and drivers in the days when you were stewarding, Keith?
Well, I suppose Bill Shin would have been the tops, one of the tops, because he always turned himself out. He was always immaculate in his appearance and always drove a good race. Alf Simons was always a good hard trier. He was also a gentleman that tried very hard to win races. I was just speaking to...
Did you get many that didn't try to win races?
No, I think they mainly tried to win, but when we were racing on the showgrounds, when I was training and driving there were 20 horses in a race, 8 horses across the front.
8 horses across the front at the showgrounds?
The showgrounds, yes. We had a saying that the odds breathed in and the evens breathed out, and that they couldn't fall over because we were packed that tight. I've got a photo home where I ran second from the second line. I was in number 15, and I got beat by Helos, who started off from number 3. And everywhere I went there was a horse, and I got beat ahead, and I reckon it was the best drive I ever did.
Is that right?
Yeah, that 20 horses, 16 off the front, that was 8 off the front and 8 in the second row and 4 trailers.
There must have been tremendous interference in those days.
Well, they were top drivers, most of them, and there was some interference because of the number of horses, but they were good drivers, and we said we were too tight to fall over, so we slid on our feet.
They tell me the 4 wide trail in those days wasn't too bad a position, trailing up 4 wide.
No, well...
At least you were going to get a clear run.
That's right, but a lot of them made a mistake that if they were trapped 1 wide, they wouldn't sit there, they'd want to go. Well, I was talking to Bruce Baston's son here today. I met him, and Bruce had apparently, which was a top mare there, that actually I helped him to get, and she went on to be one of the top mares racing at that time. And he wanted to go, and I used to say to him, sit. If you're sitting quiet 1 wide, you're not covering any extra ground. And the old idea that the leader makes the pace, the leader doesn't make the pace. The horse sitting 1 wide makes the pace.
The one's up outside him.
Yeah, because if he sits there happily, well, the leader doesn't go.
Keith, it's terrific to see you at harness racing. I want to see you again in the next couple of meetings here at Moonee Valey, if you can make your way out here. I'd love to spend a lot more time with you and talk about the old days of racing. You know what television's like. There's always something coming up. And fortunately or unfortunately, we've got Johnny Bell at Mornington, who's got a preview of the next race. And I think he's got Peter McKenna with him, a more recent hero.
Oh, yes.
Thanks very much, Keith, and we'll talk to you again.
My pleasure.
Over to you, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bill. It is right. Peter McKenna's joined me here from Channel 7. Welcome to Channel 31.
Thanks very much, John. A pleasure to be on.
Just a day out at the races for you?
Yeah, a whole group of us, about 20 of us from the Bulleen area, and have come along and a good social day. Haven't been to Mornington for a long time, and we're having a terrific day.
We certainly picked the right day to come. The sun's shining here. Obviously, you do enjoy your racing.
love it, and don't get a chance to get the races too often because of the football. But I used to come to Mornington many years ago when I was a school teacher, and terrific to be back.
Now, how's the tipping on the footy, firstly? We better start off with that.
Oh, for the year, I think so. The Bulldogs are going to be right up there. Bulldogs, the Saints, will be good sides. West Coast will be there again. North, same old sides. But it'd be good to see the Bulldogs or St Kilda win it.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Now, what about the races? Have you got one for us here?
Yes, I like Fire Chief, number 11 in this, John. I think it'll be right. I'm going to take Quinellas with it.
All right, Pete. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you have a great day at Mornington.
Thanks a lot, John.
Peter McKenna there from Channel 7, celebrity tipster for the day, Fire Chief. And actually, he's followed me in, or I've followed him in. I think Fire Chief has a terrific chance, and I can report that there has been good money for the horse. It was interesting early. He opened up around an $8 chance, but went for a 5-point drift. Now, punters have stepped in. They've snapped up 3 times the each-way quote. He's firmed in 3 points. There's no value on the tote, but he is quite well fancied here. His last run at SAR was terrific. He got a long way back, finished strongly. His previous run, he beat Magic Happens, who, of course, won at Moe last week. So it's a very strong form line in what is a wide open race. A quick run through the board here. Number 1, Palace Scent, has drifted 2 points. It's out to the 2 times the each way quote, but you're getting nearly 2 points of value there. Number 2, Hassan Dardos, drifted early, but late in the betting has come in for some support. It's firmed a full point. It's now sharing equal favouritism. No, it's a half point off equal favouritism. But you're still getting a point and a bit of value there on the tote at this stage. Luca Brasi is now the outright favourite after there was basically 5-1 the field between 3 runners. It was a very big drift early, opened up around $3.50, got out to $6, but that's been trimmed up by a half point. So you're about spot on the tote at this stage. Number 4, Truistic, has been a drifter, out to 1.5 times the each way quote, into the mystery. Well, he's a horse that on his day looks sensational, but rarely does he string 2 together, and he won last start. The tote's correct to his price. Rajanur, the hurdler, not fancied at all. He's been a big drifter. He's about his right price on the tote. Benny Video opened up second favourite at $4.50, has drifted out to around the $6 mark, so a little bit of value there. Rambar's out to 4 times the each way quote. Double figure odds for Devon Departure. Spec has been a big drifter. Fire Chief, as I said, he's the ring shortener in 3 points. Just a touch of unders on the tote at the moment. The bottom 3 horses not fancy. Horses are beginning to move in here, so dial up that phone. I'm going to tip number 11, Fire Chief, on top from number 3, Luca Brasi, and number 1, Palicent.
Thanks, John. And Johnny there going as Peter McKenna did for number 11, Fire Chief. Pete loves his races, he loves his harness racing, and Hutchie, you would have often seen Peter McKenna, the ex-Collingwood full forward, at harness meetings.
I remember seeing him at harness meetings, I remember seeing him at Collingwood, and I remember seeing him at Port later on too, when he used to play against my brother who was playing for Sandringham at the time in the great days of the VFA, and it's good to see Peter still heavily involved in racing and harness racing.
With that, your interesting interview with Keith Greenwood there, the ex-Chief Stipe of harness racing in the old Showgrounds days, Hutchie, it'd be fair to say that he's in his 80s, wouldn't it?
Yes, I didn't actually ask Keith his age, but he would be in his 80s. He seemed, they all seemed older guys when we were kids.
Yeah, sure. Isn't it nice to see an elderly gentleman like Keith Greenwood take pride in his presence? He was immaculately attired, wasn't he?
He was a thorough gentleman, Keith, and I think a lot of people in racing, in harness racing, learned a lot from Keith.
Okay. Well, there's the situation for this race at Mornington. Only 1 to go in, so we're just about ready for a start. And good support for number 2, Haciendos late. Haciendos heavily backed at Mornington. Field just about set. There's 1 straggler out the back there, and then Brian Markovic will take up the call for this race, the second leg of the quaddie at Mornington.
This is a big go late for this number 2. Got out to $8 with bookies, now into $6. They're off.
Pretty good start too on the inside. Truistic bounced out well. So too showing early speed on the outside as Cranko, and splitting the pair is Mr. Hyde. Palicent eases in behind them. Then Devon Departure. Off the track now is Rajanur making ground, followed by Into the Mystery, a round out. Then Devon Departure. Fire Chief a little bit wide. Hassan Dardos 4 wide turning out of the straight. 3 wide Luca Brasi. Then Tiara Blaze Palicent. 2 lengths away Benevideo. Second last is Rambar. And Specker dropped out to last. Nearing the 1500. And Mr. Hyde around the outside draws a half in front of Truistic. 2 lengths away into third placing Rajanur. A length and 3/4 the fence, and fourth is Into the Mystery, followed by Devon Departure, fifth on the outside of Cranko. A length and a half Tiara Blaze, followed by Fire Chief, who still can't get in, followed by Palace at the fence. A break of almost 3 lengths to Hassan Dardos on the outside of Luca Brasi. 2 lengths to Benevidio, and the last 2 inside the 1200 metre turn are Spec on the inside of Rambar. A good 15 lengths would cover the field towards the 1100 metres, and Mr. Hyde the leader by 2.5 to Truistic. A length and a half third the fence is Rajanur, fourth on the outside, a half away Into the Mystery. A length 2 on the outside, Devon Departure on the outside of Cranko, followed by Fire Chief. From the outset all the ways wide, around Tiara Blaze, then Pallison, followed by Hassan Dardos, Benevidio, Luca Brasi third last. At the 700 metres, a break of 3 lengths to Rambar, and Spec is last. At the 650 down the side, it's still Mr. Hyde, a half in front of Truistic, now joining Mr. Hyde. A length away, Devon Departure. Rajanur pulls out 3 wide, 4, 5 wide Into the Mystery. A length away back on the fence is Pallison, followed by Cranko, then Tiara Blaze. Devon Departure now seeing daylight. Pull to the extreme outside as Fire Chief. He's been very wide from the outset. Then Better Video, followed by Luca Brasi, third last. Well back as Rambar, and Spec is back at the tail. They pack up around the turn at the 250. Into the Mystery now raced up to tackle Truistic, Fire Chief, and here's Benevidio. He's coming with a pretty good run towards the 150. Then Mr. Hyde back to the inside under pressure, but Benevidio out wide. Hit the lead now, and away he goes. This is an easy one coming up for Benevidio. Benevidio bolts in, wins by 2.5. I reckon Pallison has run second. It's flown the inside and nose to Fire Chief, and there was a run, followed by Truistic. Then Mr. Hyde, followed by Into the Mystery, pulling up quickly. Then Devon Departure, Tiara Blaze, Cranko. Luca Brasi did nothing from Rajanur, Hassan Dardos, then Spec, and Rambar's run last.
Well, there's a bonus. If you stayed with the tip, number 7, Benevidio has got out to pay $7.60 the win and $2.70 the place. Second will be number 1, Pallacent, expect $3.20. And third, 11, Fire Chief, a big run, as Brian Markovic called. It will pay $2.70 the place. Now, Benevidio, that's it out there in the orange and the blue. It's 6 off the fence, made a wide run. The jock here, Brian Werner, but Benevidio sustained it, and this was a pretty impressive win. He's gone past the leading pack. That's Pallacent swooping through near the rail, 2 off the fence. But Benevidio, well, he's put a gap on them and was eased down near the line.
You spotted him coming around the turn. He was out wide, but he had so much momentum up. There's that photo for second. You can see the horse back on the inside there has got... Yeah.
A whisker.
Yeah, just enough. Although we saw a closer one, didn't we, when we had a look last week? I don't know how they came up with a verdict in that one. But
that was, I think, stall harness, wasn't it?
I'd say that one's about 3 1/1000ths of a second, that one.
7, 1, 11 have been confirmed after that that very tight photo for second. Here's the winner, Benevidio. As we mentioned, it was Ray Huxley's bet of the day, and it's paid $7.60. So that was a good tip, and it was a big win. Number 7, Benevidio, 7.60 and 2.70. 1, Pallacent, 3.20. 11, Fire Chief, 2.70. The Quinella, 37.70. Exacta, $71. The running double for 5 and 7, $33.40. The trifecta, $533.90. So again, the running double. Again, Ray tipped the previous winner third, and that one on top. And the 3x3 at a cost of $9 would have got you back $33.40. It's a very good way to bet.
You've mentioned Ray Huxley. That's what, 7 out of his 10
best bets of the day in recent meetings have won. And
you don't need you don't need a strike rate like that when they're going to pay $7 odd, do you? So
no, I mean not having a shot at anyone, but it is easy sometimes to name a 5s on shot or something in harness or any code as your bet of the day. Ray avoids them and pops up with best bets such as this one at $7.60 and $2.70, Adam. So it was a very good selection.
Yeah.
Okay, and John Bell, big run from the horseshoe tip, John, to finish third.
Yeah, but certainly playing second fiddle there to Hucko. That is one of the a good tipping performance, tipping that as his best of the day in what looked one of the trickiest races today. So hats off to Hucker. Benevidio is trained by John Patching, who's joined me now. John, a pretty soft win there.
Yeah, very nice. He loves a dead track.
So. Well, the key to this horse is, he's had 2 runs here at Mornington for 2 good wins.
Yep, that's right. Oh, he's been stiff on a couple of other occasions, but I know, we just keep him going around on a dead track and put him over a bit more ground.
You're training at Woolamai, John. How many horses are you training there?
I just got the one.
Just a bit of a hobby for you?
Yep, that's all now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what about this horse? He's won easily today. What's in store for him?
Oh, I might take him to Sandown in, I think, around in the end, 8th of May or something like that. There's a 2200 metre there, so it should suit him.
And how long have you been dabbling with horses?
About 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Just a bit of a passion?
It is, yep. If I give it away, I get my sanity back and I'm in business, aren't I?
That's right. Well, congratulations on the win today. It looks like there might be many more in store.
Oh, well, hope so.
Congratulations, John Patching, jumping over the fence there to welcome back his horse, and certainly an impressive performance there. Palicent darted through on the fence to grab second there at, well, he was a bit of value on the tote. He's paid the $3.20 the place, and third Fire Chief got a long way back. I think there's a race certainly around the corner for him. But we've seen a few hobby trainers on Channel 31 over the years, and it's good to see another one preparing a winner.
Thanks, John. And he did a bit of hasty retreat, John Patching, didn't he?
Yeah.
His only horse, so he's had a 100% strike rate today, and that's good. I just got a feeling that the horse means so much to him. He wanted to be first back to the winner's stall to welcome him back.
Winners all round. Rob Gaylard just waved on the way past and said, thanks for passing on Hucker's best bet of the day for me.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Well, let's concentrate on the next at the Valey now. And Adam, this upcoming race is the fifth, which is the second leg of the quaddy. We've got 7 minutes for start time. This is going to be the most open of the day, one would imagine.
Yeah, first leg of the Daily Double also. Now let's have a look at the runners in contention. Number 1, Wee Chief, is equal favourite with the bookies on track. It's about $4.50 with bookies, so $5.50 is good odds at favouritism at the moment. Now it's sharing favouritism with number 12, Af to Do, who's holding up very well at the moment at $7.20. My opinion of the race is that Af to Do has got a bit on his rivals here as far as class goes. I would have liked it over a little bit more distance, and he is stepping up to that distance on Saturday night. I think the race is 2,800 on Saturday night, but he's a bit of a hit and miss proposition. But on his best, I think he'd go close here. And Gavin Lang, excuse me, hinted that with the 2 runs under his belt, when Hutchie spoke to him earlier on, Gavin said that he might be ready to do something today Af to Do. So there was a little bit of a push there from Gavin, and I think he's the one to beat here, number 12. Certainly at $7.20, you can't go wrong. I would think around about $5 is closer to his ride odds. Wee Chief's got a definite hope. Champagne Tolliver on Sport 927 this morning, Gator Pulicino gave this a place hope only, so we'll take her guide on that. Walhalla Fella's got a terrific each way hope, the 3. Xerox, don't like it. Jackknife Gypsy's probably got a rough hope. Knights Over's just racing below its best. Nuclear Ash looks well held. Benjamin Starr would have a little hope, and Hutchie's about to join us now.
Well, you've got your followers, Adam, because 1 minute ago you tipped Af to Do, and now it's favourite.
Yeah, $5.90. Look, I think it's just getting into its right odds now. It was silly odds at $7.20.
All right, we'll bring Hutchie out the neutral corner for his comments on the race. Over to you, Kid Hutchie.
I wouldn't have given you up before, it's just that we were talking on camera. We didn't realise we were on camera, did we?
I think people have taken it too seriously. I probably overly aggressively got across my
point. Finish with this Coke?
Well, I needed it to cool down after your little surge there. But all I was trying to get across, and you know, I mean, it's all in jest, but I thought Star of Stoney was the run of the race, and I guess I felt that, you know, if you had to swap the runs they had, he would have won. But anyway, that's what racing's about.
Personally, I think you dug yourself a grave. You've just got to lie in it, Adam.
Oh, that's okay. There's nothing worse than upsetting owners, is there? I mean, they're all good guys, Rob Gaylard and Terry Henderson.
Well,
so
you sort of need them, don't you, in your business?
Well, I'm in horses with Terry Henderson, so next minute I'll be getting the bills will be tripling.
No, he knows. He knows the rules. I told him downstairs.
Top and bottom are sharing favouritism here, Bill, in the bookies ring. Number 1, Wee Chief, and number 12, Af to Do, and there's not much between them tote-wise either.
I'm not saying Wee Chief can't win, but it shouldn't be that short. It's a handy horse without being anything special, Wee Chief, and it's even shorter than that in the betting ring. Look, my tip was Walhalla Fella, as I mentioned. I don't know what you said about it just then, Adam, but it hasn't had any luck at all at its recent starts, and it does like standing start races. It doesn't win out of turn. It hasn't won for over 12 months, but I really think this is its sort of race. thought Jackknife Gypsy number 5 had a little chance in the race. It hasn't had a lot of luck at its last couple. It ran a reasonable placing at Geelong behind Alvance with Have to Do second on that occasion. I guess Have to Do beat it first up, so it might be able to do the same again today with a couple of runs under its belt. But it's that sort of race, you know, very open race. Benjamin Star I've always had a bit of time for. Hasn't had a lot of luck at its last couple, but usually goes okay in standing start races. And the Don, well, we've both got a bit of time for it, Adam, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm interested in this horse. How did he go in that race at Shepparton, which was
quite well.
One of his most recent runs? He actually went around at Harold Park. I think he's gone around at Harold Park since that race at Shepparton.
No, he ran around at Harold Park before that, yeah. Okay. Didn't have any luck. I think he was caught 3 wide. At Shepparton, he was badly out of the mobile, which was unusual, but he ran quite a good race. He wasn't far away behind Blue and Royal and Light on the Path.
Now, the bookies are keeping him very safe, the Don. We have to let you know that at home, as they are with number 10, Del BG. But Chris Elford was only lukewarm.
Yeah. Look, the Don. Go back to the Don first. The Don's never had a stand, so we don't know whether he handles a stand. He did miss a mobile last time. There's Hella on screen at the moment. Del BG. Well, you know, Chris is sort of. He's only had one run. Hasn't raced since March the 2nd, and he raced before that on February the 9th. So his race has been very well spaced. He did run in a trial at Cranbourne last Saturday and beat Rear Air there. So, look. It wouldn't shock me to see Del BG win, but you nearly need to be on your game to win a race like this off 10 metres, don't you?
Always got a theory with the Alexander horses. Now, there are trend breakers, like Tailor Made Lombo last Saturday night, but I always like to give them a run, the Alexander horses. Yep. Yeah. Just to see, you know, I think they always benefit a lot from whatever they do first up.
Well, from what Noel told us last Wednesday night at Geelong, he was giving it a run. Well, not giving it a run so much, but he didn't expect it to be as good as it was last Saturday night.
Yeah, Tailor Made Lombo was brilliant. I mean, you've touched on that race. That's one of the highlights of Saturday night. And I've also got that Australian Gold field to go through. And we'll touch on those Valey fields later, Hutch, but keep going here. You got up to Del BG.
Yeah, I think we've basically gone through them. Turf Tiger is a quality performer in this field, but...
he has got a little touch of class, hasn't he?
He hasn't raced since January the 17th, and it's a bit hard to know how horses like that measure up, especially off 20 metres over the 2380. You need to be able to do it very tough at some stage of the race, and without the hard racing, it's very hard to be on Turf Tiger. But Ray Tat, junior driver with a lot of ability, and he'll be taking a few shortcuts. And Have to Do, well, I think he's entitled to be favourite. He's favourite in the betting ring, but very backable, at much the same odds as what he's showing on the TV at the moment, $4.30. And I think he's the one to beat. I think he's in Saturday night at Moonee Valey too.
Yes, he is. He's in the last race, Have to Do. He's a race where he looks to have a pretty tight grip on the race there.
Yeah.
But the only thing you can read into that is that he probably will improve a little bit on this. He's third up. Because he's running Saturday night has no impact on how he'll run today because they're different class races. Yeah. So he doesn't get penalised for Saturday night or anything like that. So I thought he had a little bit on them, but a worry to me was the 2380.
Yeah.
I just think if it was 2800, I'd back him with a good deal of confidence here. But Wheat Chief's starting to get out. Well, if it was the Wheat Chief that went around at Bendigo last start, he's probably about a double-figure odds chance, $6.50.
I think he likes being up there and up on the fence, and that's where he could be from this barrier.
Del BG's coming in again on the tote. Let's just have a look for anything that really grabs us for value. It would be number 8, Benjamin Star, who you made a bit of a case for, Hutch. And Walhalla Fella also, you gave it an undeniable hope. In fact, it was your top pick.
It was my top pick.
Walhalla Fella. Well, it's showing, where are we, $9.20 on the tote, and it's only about, it's just coming into about $8 now, but still, that's a good $2 better than you can get on track. So the 2 value runners are ones that Hutch gave a chance to, number 3, Walhalla Fella, and 8, Benjamin Star.
Have you got a chance to look at that race Saturday night? Well, there's a bit of a...
Yeah, which one do we want to have a look at? The Australian Gold final?
Well, that's it. Where's this at Albion Park?
Albion Park. It's over a flying mile.
This is for the fillies.
Yes. Race 6 it is at 9:10 on Saturday night. Maritana Kate is a Victorian, first emergency. Gold Rainbow for Grant Shoemaker, barrier 2. Gigahertz is barrier 3, another Victorian for Marty Miles. Ravaged, a Sydney sider in gate 4. Lombo Repeater for Graham Bowyer, a huge chance in this
final.
Where
did he qualify?
From Grade 5 at Albion Park,
right.
And did the job well too. Yeah. Lana's Angel, another Victorian.
Handy.
It's there, yeah, goes all right for Jeff Proposh. Bell is 7. My Liberty Bell is 8. Lombo a Dreamin' 9. Impish Princess 10. And its second emergency. 11 is Sister Dancer, another Victorian. And Left the Fakes is number 12. We'll talk more about it after.
A bit hard to line them all up when they've qualified all around the world, but I think Gold Rainbow might be the best of the Victorians.
Yeah, good luck to Grant Shoemaker there. Young trainer on the way up. Last report I heard that Jeff Walker had driven the horse, so a terrific opportunity for someone I know Bill Hutchison thinks is one of the most underrated and underused drivers in Victoria, Jeff Walker. Good combination, Jeff Walker and Grant Shoemaker down there. I think they're just past Cranbourne somewhere, down near Tarrelgan or something. But just about set to go here for first leg of the daily double, second leg of the quaddie. Here's Dan.
Way pretty quickly, Jackknife Gypsy is going to lead. Nuclear Ash begin okay, then Knights Over. Del BG's away fast. Wee Chief getting going along the inside of Champagne Tolliver. 5 metres to Benjamin Star, 6 metres to Well Hella Fella, who was a slow beginner. After Do was next, 5 metres to Turf Tiger. And the Don didn't begin all that well, and neither did Xerox. Xerox is going to tail out a long last. About to work into the straight now. And the leader, after jumping straight on the lead, was Jackknife Gypsy. Knights Over's under the whip to try and attack. It's 2 metres away second. Wee Chief got up along the inside into third. Nuclear Ash is 3 deep at the moment, trying to drop into the 1-1. Champagne Tolliver doing its best to kick up into that same spot. And Del BG stuck 3 deep for the moment around Benjamin Star, and After Do drop back to the rails. Then Well Hella Fella. Behind it, the Don's about to come out 3 deep outside Turf Tiger, who tacked up. And 40 metres away last was Xerox. As they head into the back now, 1600 to go, the lead time in 62.8. Jackknife Gypsy led, Knights Over second. Nuclear Ash is stuck on a limb 3 deep. Wee Chief is fourth on the fence. Champagne Tolliver in the centre 1-1, but has horses 3 deep around it. Another one is Del BG, who's stuck there. 3 back the fence was After Do in the centre, Benjamin Star. The Don's 3 wide but 3 back, and then Well Hella Fella, Turf Tiger, and 20 metres away at the tail of the field is Xerox. As they work off the back, 1300 metres to go. And Jackknife Gypsy in front, led by a metre. Knights Over second, third but 3 wide, and being there for the trip was Nuclear Ash. Fourth on the inside was Wee Chief. Champagne Tolliver was around it. Out there 3 deep was Del BG. 3 back the fence was After Do. Around it Benjamin Star. The Don 3 deep but 3 back. Then Well Hella Fella, Turf Tiger and Xerox. First quarter 32.6, and they are jammed up. They've got a circuit left to go, and Jackknife Gypsy the leader here. For David Evans, about a metre, 2 Knights Over, 3 wide Nuclear Ash. Wee Chief has pulled hard, fourth on the inside. Champagne Tolliver the centre, fifth. Del BG's always been 3 deep, and then After Do inside Benjamin Star. The Don 3 wide, and they were followed by Well Hella Fella. Next on the inside was Xerox as they head out of the straight, and Turf Tiger last. 33 seconds the second quarter, and Jackknife Gypsy into the back, a narrow leader from Knights Over. Nuclear Ash 3 wide, the Don coming 5 deep. Del BG pulled out 4 wide, then Wee Chief as they quicken up. Champagne Tolliver, After Do, and then came out wider on the track Benjamin Star. The Don trying to circle the field here. Off the back at the 400, Jackknife Gypsy led. The Don's out there 4 deep. Del BG driven along, and then Knights Over. Wee Chief on the rails. Benjamin Star, and then came After Do off the back in 29.2. Jackknife Gypsy the leader from the Don. Then Del BG, Wee Chief on the fence. Knights Over, Benjamin Star, and then After Do in the straight. The leader Jackknife Gypsy from the Don. Wee Chief, After Do trying to get out. The leader Jackknife Gypsy coming after it. After Do and Wee Chief. After Do got the run on the inside. Wee Chief to second, then Turf Tiger, but After Do broke clear from Wee Chief, and After Do won it. After Do first, Wee Chief second. For the Miners spot for third, either Turf Tiger or the Don. A good run.